Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to recap a movie named Caveat. Special advice, turn on the subtitles and feel free to like and subscribe. At the beginning of the movie, we see a woman comes out of the room. By her looks it appears she is mentally unfit. She was carrying a dreadful toy in her hand and navigating her surroundings with its assistance. She was moving in the direction where the toy rang. Later, the toy starts to ring at a door that leads to the basement. Later on, the toy starts ringing near a cardboard wall. After creating a hole in the wall, the woman begins to see inside. The scene got changed and later, we see Isaac, who was in an accident a year ago, and because of this he also lost his memory. Later, Isaac's friend asks Isaac to take care of a girl and a house, so his financial need might get fulfilled, and he could earn well. Later, his friend, Barrett, tells him that sometime before his brother took his life, and since then his wife is also missed. Their only daughter gets very lonely after her parents' death, which is why Isaac has to take care of her. Isaac's friend also willing to give him a good amount of money for this work. Isaac begins to think that why his friend is giving him so much money for such an easy task. But as he is in need of money, he didn't give it so much thought and accepts his friend's offer. The following day they arrived at the house, but it was in a deserted location, on an island in the middle of a river. After seeing this, Isaac is taken aback and asks his friend, "Why didn't you tell me that your brother's house is in the midst of the stream?" Isaac also reveals that he doesn't know how to swim, but his friend somehow persuades him. This was the same house we see at the beginning where a strange woman was trying to find her way from a toy. Barrett subsequently presents him with a jacket with a lengthy chain connected to it. Furthermore, he advises Isaac that you must not go inside Olga's room, because her mental state is unstable. He informs him that Olga is odd and gets puzzled when someone approaches her. To avoid this, she always closes her eyes and sits in a corner of her room. He makes him wear this jacket to keep him from going to Olga's room. This jacket was the equivalent of a silver suit. It has a long chain and multiple locks, and Isaac doesn't want to wear it since he believes Barrett is keeping something from him. But he is in need of money. He was forced to do what Barrett tells him. Later he spots a dog outside of the house. He feeds the dog. Just then he hears some unusual sounds from inside the house. Isaac suspects she is Olga and begins to approach her room, but he can't do so because of the jacket. When he lies on the bed of the room at night, a picture falls from the wall. The image was turned upside down but immediately straightened out. The eyes of the girl in the photo begin to open, which was once normal. As a result, she becomes strange. Isaac becomes terrified as he watches this. He starts searching the entire house to see what is peculiar about it. Meanwhile, Olga comes, holding a crossbow. She informs him that her mother was insane and used to imprison her father after forcing him to wear this jacket. She also wore the jacket's key around her neck. Her mother mysteriously disappeared one day. My father suspected she was in the basement. Meanwhile, the basement door had been automatically locked. His father suffered panic attacks and died in the basement while terrified. Isaac was sitting but suddenly the toy began making noises. Isaac thought that the toy has the power to sense the spirits, so he grabs the toy and visits the basement where he the hole in the wall which was created by Olga's mother. He peeks through it and finds Olga's mother's dead body. He believes that Olga had killed her mother, because by seeing the dead body it seems that the death was caused by a crossbow. When he notices this, he calls Barrett and notifies him of the situation. He claims Olga murdered her mother and that he discovered her body. As a result, he wants him to contact the police as soon as possible. As a result, he locks Olga in a room and goes into the basement, where he begins to unlock his chain. He hears a sound coming from Olga's room, and she tells him, "I didn't kill my mother. Rather, my uncle Barrett and my father had murdered my mother jointly. Because you informed Barrett of this, Barrett will not forgive you. Instead, he will kill you." After hearing this, he enters Olga's room. Then Olga informs him that he came here a year ago and imprisoned his father in the basement. "Barrett, you've done everything on my uncle's orders." Isaac had no recollection of the past, therefore he couldn't think of anything. He tells her, "Barrett has informed me that you are mentally unfit, so you're speaking in this manner, and I've never come here before," and he contacts Barrett again. He notifies him that Olga is speaking strangely. After hearing this, he becomes rather upset, and assures Olga that "I've done nothing, nor have I killed your parents." He tells her that she can call the police if she still believes that Isaac had killed her parents. Later, he attempts to steal the key from Olga's chamber by crawling through a hole. But Olga notices him and, in rage, breaks his finger. As a result, Isaac is in excruciating pain. Later, he reads in the papers about Olga's mother's disappearance. He notices Olga's mother wearing a key around her neck, as Olga informed him. He walks straight to the cellar and tries to grab the key from Olga's mother's neck. He opens the jacket lock after removing the key from her body. The electricity in the entire home was turned off as he removed his jacket. He later enters Olga's chamber and steals her crossbow. He coerces Olga into wearing this jacket. While Isaac was trying to remember about the past, Olga arrives there. She steals his crossbow and attacks him. Isaac flees inside a room to avoid her. Meanwhile, she pursues him and injures him with an arrow. Later, Isaac flashes back to the past, recalling the day he came to murder Olga's father. Berat wants to kill you, he scrawled on a scrap of paper for Olga's father. Instead of murdering him, Isaac wishes to save and assist him. He tries to enter the basement, but it was locked from the inside. He opened the door and made his way inside. He observes how miserable Olga's father is. Isaac was astonished to see him in such a dreadful situation and fled. When Berat enters, he queries Isaac, "Have you completed your task?" He claims that when I attempted to murder Olga's father, the door was locked from the inside. Berat later discovers the note Isaac prepared for Olga's father, which reads, "Berat wants to kill you." He discovers that Isaac wrote this, but he didn't tell Isaac anything. He now worries that he could report it to the police. He then gives an explanation and leaves for this reason. He didn't actually go anywhere. Instead, he was sitting there covertly. While Isaac was on the roof at night, Berat arrived and pushed him off. Actually, Isaac's memory was lost as a result of this tragedy. He restores his memories after remembering everything in the present. He starts to run away because of this. While he was on the go, he encounters Olga's mother's ghost along the road, who tries to frighten him. He starts shouting as a result and enters the room where Olga's mother's body was. Isaac now starts to cut the cardboard wall, but the body was placed close by. Her eyes were open, and she was grinning oddly, so he feels afraid to see it. Because of this, he covers her face with his cap, but it develops a hole, and he notices that the body is still staring at him, making him scared. In the meantime, Olga shows up and takes the arrow out of her mother's body. Berat will eventually show up and inquire about Isaac. Olga informs him that I've imprisoned him in my chamber, but in reality, Isaac was concealed on the opposite side of the wall. Berat discovers that Isaac is concealed on the other side of the wall at this precise moment. He starts to smash the cardboard wall from behind, so he can then bring Isaac outside. Olga, however, attacked him with a crossbow, and the arrow struck him in the back. She trapped Isaac and Berat in the basement and left. Berat tried to trap Isaac despite being wounded by an arrow. He tells Isaac to come out so that they can leave this place together, but actually, he intends to kill Isaac rather than bring him out. He, therefore has a wooden item in his hand and will kill the man when he emerges. He can hear Isaac responding, "I've already come out. Who are you calling out?" In the background, when Berat learns this, he becomes quite angered and perplexed. He is unable to comprehend what is taking place. Who is there if Isaac is not hiding behind the wall? In the meantime, Olga's mother's ghost manifests itself from the wall. Berat is really surprised when he first sees her. He is being attacked by Olga's mother's ghost. Later, all we hear is him screaming, indicating that Olga's mother has killed him. After setting the dog free, Isaac leaves. Olga also emerges and was closely observing Isaac, but she has no intention of killing him. The movie ends here. If you enjoyed the video, then please like the video and subscribe to the channel.